And hello, my name is Jerry Makudas, and I am a Reiki teacher of the Asuri Holy Fire Reiki system. And I teach online, and this video is going over why you would take a Reiki class online. And I will admit, in my past history, back in I started teaching online with the pandemic. I think we all know in 2020, when things shifted, that we had to start social distancing and not doing things in person. I will say prior to that, I have always done classes in person. I felt like there was a very strong connection with connecting with people in person, and I never thought I would do anything online. Was someone that would never listen to podcasts. I felt like there was a value. I would even travel to take Reiki classes, energy classes from people. Like I've traveled as far as England, Arizona. So I am very open to being in person. So I never really thought that I would start doing things online. But as I said, with the pandemic, shifting things to online, just the necessity of how things were in 2020, that I think that's how the universe works, that we think that we're supposed to be doing something a certain way, and then we get shifted into, kind of forced into a new way. And it kind of forces us to grow. And that's what I really have experienced. So I teach the Holy Fire, the Isuri Holy Fire system. It came about in 2014, and how I understand and experience the Holy Fire energy is that prior to that, which was the Sui Tibetan method, was a lot of, I taught it in person, and it was a lot of, as the teacher, expanding my work field out. And then from there, I would be like kind of stepping into the student's energy field, and the energy would pass through me into the student. And then the student energy would receive it. And when we do things like Reiki, where we raise our vibration, there has to be a corresponding release to allow that vibration to be in your energy field. So the student would release the lower vibrations, and it would pass, for me as a teacher, it would pass through back into me, a teacher, and being released into the earth. So what was happening in this method is that the teacher was kind of like holding space for the student with the energy. And so I can remember that I would walk into Reiki classes, and I could just feel, I saw it as my role at the time, but I could just feel the energy of the class, where each student was in their healing journey. Maybe not like really specific, but I could feel it because I was taking it on, because that was my way of understanding the Asuri method. And what I now really appreciate with the Holy Fire method is the tradition is, I really feel it's an outgrowth of the Tibetan, because it wouldn't exist without Tibetan Reiki. But it was more of that, me as a teacher, I am no longer the conduit, but I'm more of bringing the student into a receptive state, and then I get my energy out of the way, and the Holy Fire Reiki comes from source and attunes the student. So there's more of like that purity that the student has with source. It's no longer filtered through my auric field. It is and I'm also not taking on the energy of the student, and the student is no longer like, what they're receiving is not being filtered by my, or as a teacher. So it is much more pure, is much more finer. So what does this have to do with learning Reiki online? With learning Reiki online, is that you get to be, as a student, get to be in your own space, that the comfort zone, and one of the things that I have really started experience with giving sessions virtually is that the energy for me is much more powerful because I am no longer in the student space, that I am like asking the Reiki to go to the student wherever they're at. There is something that you learn in the second level of Reiki, which is the distance symbol. And so that allows the energy to transcend time and space, to go to the student, go to the client, to go to wherever it is needed, wherever it is wanted. And one of the things that I found when I started doing Reiki sessions virtually was that my intuitive awareness started to expand, that I was able to really be, I was the comfort in my own home, my own space. I often have my cats are not with me right now, but my cats will often come and be with me during the session. But so what I'm saying in that is that I was very centered, very grounded, very in with my own self. And then so stepping into my own self allows me that centeredness, really tapping into what the higher messages that I have to offer to the student, to the client. And people have said that they have found it much more powerful in that way. And what also another benefit with receiving and learning Reiki and online, that you are in the comfort of your own home, and so that you are more easily able to integrate the lessons in your own life. That so if you there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to travel to take Reiki, whether you are going to a yoga studio or a Reiki studio in your town, or traveling to another country, another city. But when you travel, you out of your own space, you are learning it in a foreign environment, and then you are bringing it back into your environment. And there might be a slight more effort in bringing the Reiki energy into your current life. And when you learn at home, you're learning at home, so you understand how the energy works with you in your own space. That that it's just really much more powerful. So I hope this answers a question why you would take a Reiki training virtually online. Ending with that note, I teach Reiki classes online. You can go to my website, which is jerrymcruder.com, and I have many different options for learning online. I teach 2-day classes, Reiki 1 and 2, that is either 2 days, full days, from probably about like 8:30 in the morning to 5 o'clock at night, or Central Time. Or is another variation is that I teach 4 weeks in a row for about 4.5 to 5 hours. So it could be like a morning, an afternoon, an evening, so that you have over a period of a month. So you slowly integrate Reiki into your way of life, way of being. I think that the time in between classes where you practice with the Reiki energy, that you have more depth of understanding of what I'm sharing, more questions, and you just find it more available in your life. So thank you for listening to my video, and I hope to connect with you, whether it's through a Reiki meditation that you're listening to here on YouTube, joining live, joining a Reiki class, or a session. So please like and follow me and like this video, and I look forward to connecting with you.